Welcome to Cool But Rude, a TMNT rewatch podcast. Today we're going to be going over Season 3, Episode 3, Attack of the 50-Foot Irma. Alright, and welcome back. I'm your host, Christopher.
I'm Robert.
I'm Mike.
And like I said, we're going over today's episode, Episode 3 of Season 3, Attack of the 50-Foot Irma. And looks like we had an original air date here of September 27th, 1989. So before we get into it, was there any kind of rundowns, any swag? I know we still got power ranking. We got to do that. So, Robert, you got anything? Mike?
Don't have anything. Oh, no. Yeah, no, I don't have anything new.
Nah, same here. I'm just looking forward to how upset this episode made you all. This is going to be fun. For one of us at least.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're looking forward to that.
There's somebody got some joy out of this.
Well, I guess if we don't have anything else, we want to jump on into the thing?
Yeah, let's do it.
Jumping on into the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think I only have 3 people. Hold on, 1, 2. Yeah, 3. 3 people left. So we need a number. 1 to 3. Or sorry, 2 to 4 is where they are on my sheet.
Mike, you want to do the honors?
2 to 4. Man, who do I know? I don't know many number 4s. Number 3.
How about 20? How about 20? How about 30 to 32?
31. Good old Reggie Miller,
okay.
who I don't like.
Okay.
32.
31 to 30. Okay, we have. You guys are saving the best for last, by the way. We have Baxter's Goop Monster and Hamato Yoshi.
So I don't even remember the Goop Monster.
The Goop Monster came right along with the Electricity Monster.
Oh, okay.
Same episode.
Same episode, like a couple minutes apart from each other.
That's right.
Goop one Monster of them was
first.
The Goop Monster actually did a pretty good job. Remember, he like stuck him to the wall and stuff.
Yeah, but then he got his ass whooped by Shredder.
What did Shredder do to him?
If I remember, Shredder just like cut him in half.
Oh,
sounds about right. Or like maybe cut a hole through him or something.
Yeah, he uses like his wrist blades and just like done.
Easily, yeah.
All right, here, I'll share my screen so you guys can see my list. Oh, geez, that's a little large. That's a little small.
That's inappropriate on your screen, Robert.
Okay. Goop Monster. I don't think we think very highly of him. Where's the Electricity Monster? Okay, I see it. What do we think about Goop Monster versus Catwoman April? Or not verse, but
Yeah.
Compared to. Higher or lower?
I'm gonna say lower.
Lower?
I think she could shred it.
Yeah, you're probably right. I feel like a mob of mousers has more destructive capacity than that thing also did.
And then the Electricity Monster lasted longer.
It did, yeah.
It did. Yeah, so it's a weird thing. The Goop Monster compared to the Electricity Monster was more of like a glass cannon. Like it did a lot of it was effective, but like it just couldn't. It like had no chin. It like couldn't get.
Yeah.
It got taken down really
It's like
easily.
0 constitution.
Yeah. So what do we think compared to the Electricity Monster? Do we think the Electricity Monster is more powerful?
I think so.
Yeah. I'm good with that.
What do we think about? I have to ask. The Goop Monster compared to Burn. Chris, what do you think? We know what Mike thinks.
Yeah, just move on for me.
I'm actually gonna put it above Burn. I mean,
okay, I'm good with that.
I have an antagonizer, but you and I gotta have like some reality here. Like,
So it sounds like we pretty much all are fine with just below the electricity monster.
I think so.
Okay. That was one of the easier ones we've done. All right, now this will be fun. Hamato fucking Yoshi.
This guy's badass.
Oh, he's not.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Do you remember when Hamato Yoshi visited Central Park?
didn't he get mugged or something?
Yeah, exactly. He also got swindled by Rokusaki.
That's right.
He also moved to New York and decided
To live in the trash. Not even the trash. He's like, I'm gonna go live in the shit.
In the sewer, yeah.
He gave up on life.
Not gonna look for a job.
No, he just like,
No, he's
there's
not.
no chance.
What am I talking about? He's not badass. I was thinking Saki. This guy
You're
fucking.
thinking
Oh.
Saki. Oh,
I was
Yeah.
about
okay.
to say, like,
Okay.
okay.
Oh no, Saki was actually the badass. No, it was- Yoshi's a
Yeah,
moron.
There we go. That's the Chris I would like to hear from.
Yeah, it's not even until he turns into a rat that he gets ESP, probably. Yeah, no. Where would I rank it now?
Shit, I might put him just above Burn.
Shit.
Like, he's pretty shitty.
See, that's fucked up because then if like somebody, if I don't know if it's on your list, but if you got Saki on here instead of Shredder, like if you're gonna split them, that's like kind of shitty because it's like that's the same dude with a mask or without.
Well, that was what we talked about that last time,
Yeah.
and we basically decided just to take Saki off the list because
Okay.
for that exact reason, it's the same person. He didn't undergo any sort of change.
No, so it's like that's definitely unfair. But yeah, no, I would put him just above Burn. I don't know. Yeah, because he can't. I mean, even when he's mutated, he can't even fight the Mousers.
Mike?
I can't put him that low because he is a martial arts master. He had his own
Okay.
dojo. I think he just didn't engage the thugs that mugged him because he didn't want to draw that much attention to him. And he probably didn't. And he saw the non-violent type. So I think
But he also like lost his shit. Like he's just like, oh, the world's too hard, and then he started changing back to a rat and had to just like bail on life.
yeah, I don't know. He was going through an emotional crisis at that point.
True.
I'm looking at the list. What do you think, Robert? Maybe you can help me out.
I think I would be okay with him being higher than one or both of Baxter's monsters. Because, like you said, he is supposedly at one point was a capable martial artist. He did evidently lead the clan
Yeah.
in Japan.
That sounds weird.
The clan.
Looking at, like you just said, the hardships, and he crumbled. How did he become a leader of anything with that type of attitude?
I mean, maybe
and stuff?
maybe it was just like, maybe he shouldn't have really been the leader because obviously he didn't do much to fight to get it back. He got one pulled over on him like very easily.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have taken anything for him to explain what happened, and he didn't do that. I mean, I know it's for the show so that they can have the plot, but our first introduction to the man is that him getting done in, getting one put over on him. So you're thinking above the electricity monster and below the mop of mousers?
Maybe so. Yeah, I think he would, considering how the electricity monster they fairly easily figured that out. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he could have also figured out, like, he's also powerful enough to figure out how to beat a basically mindless monster.
He just doesn't perform well under pressure. I think he's got the smarts and the,
not at all.
Yeah. He was under pressure in that situation in the moment with Saki. And then, of course, in Central Park, and this little breakdown that he had, we have seen that Splinter has improved in that area. But Hamato
Splinter is
Yoshi,
pretty, for all the shit we give him, you're right. Splinter is pretty good under pressure.
yeah,
Very good under pressure, I'll say.
I'll just go with you guys because I have him much higher than above the two monsters there. But that argument is not gonna fly. So yeah, you and Chris duke it out.
Okay. Well, where would you, just so we have an idea, where if it was just up to you, where would you put him?
Above Rex 1. Actually, I'll put him under Rex 1.
Holy shit.
Yeah, there's that reaction.
Jeez.
Just because I think if he is in an actual life and death situation, I think he has deep within somewhere, like I gotta reach way down to grab it out, but I think he has whatever it takes to make it through those situations. And I can't just ignore the fact that he was a leader. He led the whole dojo and the whole Foot Clan. So that takes something.
So, all right. I'm working on trying to give you some more weight on this one.
Oh, that's very generous.
what about I don't know if I could justify it myself, but what about maybe right above like Catwoman April? Chris.
Personally, I was thinking that too. Wow, I really see. I didn't even think he could take a foot soldier.
I don't really either.
Oh, you don't think you can take a foot soldier?
I think he can. You don't think he could, Robert?
Oh, you think he can?
I think he can. Yeah. I mean, but then it's like we got foot soldier over Roadkill Rodney, and then over other things. I'm like, no, those things would whoop his ass.
The foot soldiers have been pretty capable. The Hamato Yoshi that we have seen, I don't see him beating a foot soldier.
I would put him then just above Catwoman April, because I know damn well that Bona Frog would whoop his ass, pun intended.
All right, how is that a good kind of average of all of our thoughts above Catwoman April?
I think so.
Okay. We'll do it. Hamato Yoshi. So here's our list. Most powerful to least powerful. Not quite complete, but very close to being complete. Krang, Shredder, Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael, Fly, Stockman, Splitter, Omnis, Smash, April, Rasputin, Rocksteady, Bebop, Rex 1, Baxter, Stockman, Tentacle Monster, Neutrinos, Pizza Monster, Mutant Plant, a Foot Soldier, a Roadkill Rodney, Napoleon Bonafrog, Hamato Yoshi, Catwoman, April, a Mob of Mousers, Baxter's Electricity Monster, Baxter's Goop Monster, Burn, Captain Hoffman, Vernon, Blodgett, Irma.
Man.
Okay. We ready for the rundown?
Do it,
man.
Okay. A meteorite has hit Earth near New York City. And according to local scientist Professor von Zifflin, it happens to contain an extremely rare isotope called exaporon. While April is interviewing von Zifflin about the meteorite, Shredder crashes the session and steals it so that Krang can harvest its energy. Krang's specific use of the exaporon is to power an enlarging ray. He tests it temporarily on Shredder with success, and once Shredder shrinks back down to size, the two plan to send Shredder to the surface and shoot him with the enlarging ray again so he can destroy the turtles with his gargantuan strength. Unfortunately, when they attempt to carry out their plan, they hit Irma with the ray instead by accident. Irma turns into a kaiju-sized version of herself, and retaining her clumsiness, proceeds to accidentally wreak havoc on the city. Thankfully, Donatello is able to produce an antidote to the exaporon's effects, but there is one final hurdle. Irma won't take any medicine if it's not in a spoonful of ice cream. Thankfully, Michelangelo comes up with the idea to use a cement truck to mix gallons of ice cream with Donatello's drug. The plan succeeds, and Irma, after eating the ice cream, shrinks back down to her usual size. I got that right. It was Michelangelo that came up with the idea, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
It's your boy.
There he is. Porn. pulling a trick out of the old sleeve like usual. I'll just say right off the bat, it wasn't as bad as I expected it to be.
Okay. I think that's the only
I would
person.
take the opposite position.
I'm like, you're the only person that's going to say that out of the three of us.
It was worse than you expected it to be?
Yeah, there was things in this one. I was just like,
Wow.
all right. I was like, let me get on this podcast now.
Okay.
So, all right. It opens up in the lair. Michelangelo. It shows a shot, panning shot, and we get the turtles all sleeping in their bunks, except for one, Michelangelo. He's decorating the lair. You know, for some reason, their bedroom specifically. I'm not. It's like a whole box of questions. So, and it's like supposed to be like a birthday party for Irma in their bedroom. Like,
wow, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
While he's doing it, like a ribbon falls down and catches my guy, just like kind of like touches Donatello's nose and it causes him to sneeze. That causes Michelangelo to fall on him from the ladder and it cascades all the way down. So all the turtles are in this like dog pile of furniture and linen. And each one of them gets those like coming out of it and they got their weapons. They're all ready to like throw down. I think it's Shredder attacking.
They're like, it's Shredder.
Yeah. And Mike's like, calm down, guys. Like, it's just me.
Like, hold up, idiots.
And he's like, no, I'm just like, getting ready to throw a party for like, Irma. And so I don't know. Something must be up with the continuity.
I was going to ask
because
yeah.
We'd seen Irma lamenting that she didn't know the turtles, was going to want an autograph, want to see them, take a picture with them. And at this stage in the game, they're straight up throwing a birthday party for her in their house. So they must be tight.
Yeah, we must have screwed up this thing that we've done with the,
yes.
with the episode order.
Or maybe Irma does have a bad memory, which we find later in the show, in this very episode. So maybe they just write her terribly.
Maybe that there was another thought that I had, because when she was saying that in that episode, it was in an admiration type starstruck.
Yeah, like a fangirl.
Right. So maybe she's like, will they even still be bothered with little old me? Can I get their autographs? Can I blah, blah, blah? That type of thing. That's the only way I can see that it works with the order that we've been doing. Because otherwise, yeah, like you said, now all of a sudden they're this chummy,
Yeah.
So maybe that's the case. And, Robert does have the right order. We'll just say it is so we all look good.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Save face, yeah. Oh, never mind the masks.
Oh, dadgummit. That's right.
Yeah.
There goes that theory. Great.
Regardless, the turtles are like, what are you doing? He's just like, oh, I'm throwing a party for Irma. And he's just like, that reminds me, I should probably invite Irma. So he calls April. And he like lets her know. He's like, hey, can you are you guys still coming? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, what do we have on the menu? And he gives her this ridiculous pizza-based menu. He's just like, I was thinking pizza puffs with like pizza dip and like, what was the last thing? Like pizza
pudding.
Pizza pudding. Oh, do not put that on that wheel.
So this is the question. I have this highlighted because I have to ask. These are pizza related, or as I guess the new word now is pizza adjacent items. Do we count these?
I say nay.
I say no.
They will not go on the list.
We already got actual pizzas later, so
yes, we do.
Unfortunately,
one of those will straight up make me puke. So
yeah. Uh-huh.
So we cut over to April, and she's at the planetarium getting ready to do the interview. With like some sort of a professor regarding a meteorite that fell to Earth recently. And he's explaining it to her that they only have half of it and the other half is locked away someplace. Shredder just is like being bold as shit. He's off to the side, like he's outside the camera, and he's like,
just right there.
He's just chilling there.
Yeah, he just rolls in, gasses the place, and it's like steals the meteorite. Like this is like the best plan he's ever had because he walked in, kicked everybody's ass, took what he wanted, and got away.
You're right. I didn't think of it that way. That is true. That is his best plan ever. Just do what you're good at. Kicking people's asses and taking their stuff.
Yeah, smash and grab. And he did that. He gets back. Or he's about to head back, and the turtles are seeing this on TV because I guess it was live.
Donatello goes, "Hey, someone's swiping the meteorite."
Someone.
Yeah. As he sees Shredder's very unique gauntlets on his arms.
Yeah.
And they're like about to spring into action, but then like for some reason Splinter is like, we're going like turtles with your heads cut off, and it's just like, wait, what are you talking about? We always just react like this.
Same thought I had.
I didn't think about that, but it's so
I was
true.
like, Splinter, like you are just all over the place, bro.
He's just scared because it's Shredder.
Yeah.
So hold on. Let's think about this for a minute, guys.
Right.
Wise man says, "Don't rush into battle." Right?
It's Shredder. Yeah.
And I was thinking, well, maybe they'll come back to that. Like maybe Splinter will have some reason why he said that.
Wisdom.
But they never even. Then the very next time you see the turtles, they run off. So I don't know what that was about. That was weird. It was odd.
That was weak. Sauce. I was just like, why are you cheating, man? You guys are being a bunch of pussies. But Shredder, he returns to Technodrome with the meteorite. He gets away. And then like it was pretty comical. I didn't write it down, but I do remember it because like he gets back in the drill module and like the door blows open. It's like, poof.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, we need to fix that. Switch back over to Channel 6. And Vernon's there, and he's like, for some reason, busting April's balls about the interview and talking about like, oh, you just let him get away with it. And it's like she's supposed to do something. Is kind of how I interpret it.
Same.
It's a news reporter's duty to stop theft.
To protect the meteorite.
Yeah.
And then Irma, meanwhile, is like, we find out she's on a diet for some reason. Like, I've never thought her, like, just the way she's drawn, never looked like some like character that needed to be on a diet.
No, that was a weird thing.
Yeah, and it's like a running thing throughout this episode.
And like April's really on her ass about it too.
Yeah, and even Vernon gives her some shit about it. he just like some fat shaming. I was just like, like that's like throughout the whole thing. Like the whole episode is just like, I don't know, it's off.
Yeah. You guys mentioned weak sauce. I think a lot of the outs that they gave themselves here was weak sauce. This was I'll say it. This is the worst episode I've seen so far.
There you go. Yeah, for some reason April's all up on her ass about this, like she's her sponsor or something. I don't know.
Yeah, she was very intense about it.
But yeah, she's like, no, you gotta stick to your diet. She's like, I just want a cookie. Then we cut over to the Technodrome. We got Krang, and he turns the meteor half that they acquired into powder. And Shredder's not impressed. He's like, big deal. He just granulated it. What are you doing? He's like, shows him. He's like, look, this is what I'm doing. He goes ahead and he shows him that he needs it for his like some sort of like super enlarging ray, like xenoboron powder for the enlarging ray. And Shredder's like, great, like that's what all we need is a 6-foot brain. He's like, that's not going to be on me. It's going to be on you. And he's like, what? I thought you hated me. As Mike just appropriately showed us a screenshot of.
So the way they showed him at this scene, and his eyes are all sad, his arms are all out. It's like, I thought you hated me. I'm like, it's just Krang that hates Shredder. Shredder doesn't hate Krang. It's Krang. Krang is the one.
Oh, yeah.
Krang is all like, I do.
Yeah, he's like, no, I do hate you. That's why I'm testing it on you, because I don't know if this will kill you. Like,
dang, man. Y'all could have a great relationship if it wasn't for Krang.
You really could take over the world. But no. Alas. Shredder is just like, you know what? That's a risk I'm willing to take. I would be the ultimate tower of power or something. I was just like, all right.
Yeah.
And Strang, he blasts him with the enlarging ray in like this comical fashion, like limb by limb or like, you know, appendage by appendage. He starts like growing like immensely.
Yes, first is just his arms.
Yeah, it's his arm, which look freaky as hell. And then it was his feet.
Yeah, he's like hanging. His arms are touched, like his arms are holding him off the ground basically, and he's hanging up in there. Like it is like you said, it's very crazy looking.
Yeah, it's like he looks like a Titan, you know, from like the MonsterVerse. And eventually he's fully, enlarged. And
That sounds odd.
yeah, I was like, there's no way around that one. And he hits his head, and they go back and forth about him being like too big for the room, and eventually he shrinks back down. And he explains to him, he's like, "All right, that was just a test." He's like, "Okay, like next time we do it, we need to make sure we're in an open area." So he's like, "All right, take this and yourself and go to the surface." They're about to make something happen. So we're in New York City, and April and Irma were just walking down the street. Irma's wanting a cookie initially. April says no. Then Irma wants ice cream. April's like, no. I don't know why she's so intense about this diet.
Maybe she's just trying to get her to like, maybe she's like, no, you said you were going to do this. You're fucking doing it.
Yeah. You're going to see something through once in your goddamn life.
Right.
It's like, damn. Then eventually Irma like sneaks away. She like evades, April. And April's like, she's like, oh, I bet you went down that alley, which doesn't sound like any kind of reason.
Yeah.
But okay.
Right.
It's like, yeah, young single woman running down an alley in New York City. Yeah, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So April goes down the same alley. She's like, she's around here somewhere. I can hear her stomach grumbling. Turns out it's actually one of those drill modules bursting through the floor, which is actually pretty cool timing. It's like,
pretty cool timing, but also it's kind of, this is a cartoon, but everything always happens in the vicinity of April or the turtles.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's got to. Just happens to be their luck.
Yeah.
So the module pops up, and Bebop and Rocksteady and Shredder pile out of it. Or no, I think it's just Shredder at this point.
It's just Shredder. And I know this because as soon as he gets out of, I don't know why this is so funny to me. As soon as he gets out of it, he just strikes this pose with like his muscles flexed and his legs all wide. I mean, as far as he knows, no one is watching him, but he strikes this pose like, I'm here. It's just so silly.
Like some superhero.
Yeah.
That is really good.
Oh, I love it.
And then at the same time, like April like runs away from this scene, and then the actual enlarging ray itself drills itself out of the ground and like catches her jacket or her jumpsuit, and like she's now like dangling from the top of this like mechanism, which turns out keeps Krang from actually being able to use it because that what did he call her? Like some sort of like meddlesome human female reporter. Yeah.
Maybe just because it sounds like, but also because it's just kind of ridiculous to like call somebody a female reporter. It made me think of, have you ever seen the Futurama episode with single female lawyer?
I don't remember it.
Oh no, I haven't.
There's like, it's like a TV show in the Futurama universe called it's just called Single Female Lawyer.
Amazing. Yeah, Krang gotta emphasize the fact that she's a female and a reporter.
That dame reporter.
They could at least call her, yeah, I was about to say they could at least call her the Dame Reporter. Like,
that'd be awesome.
Who was it? Was it Bebop or Rocksteady that said that?
I want to say it was Rocksteady, but
Yeah, I think so. Same.
I think so too. Yeah, that was. They could at least stick with that because that was a good one.
April, while she's hanging from there, calls the turtles, and they're like, "What's going on now, April?" And she's like, "Oh, look," and he's like, "What are you doing on that thing?" It's like, can we quit asking questions, or just like come save me? So the turtles show up. Just at the same time as they show up, Shredder, I guess, done digging around posing in the alley, and he apparently spent so much time in the alley that the turtles were able to come from wherever they were and show up on the scene at the same time.
Oh yeah, right.
And so he shows up. He like jumps into the frame. He's like about to start fighting, and Irma's like sitting there, like she rolls out of the ice cream shop. She's like, "Oh, look what I got, April! Oh my god!" She's got like 2 like cones of ice cream. Krang is meanwhile back at the Technodrome, and he just pops off the ray gun. I don't know if he just got impatient or I forgot what his actual reasoning was, but he just fires. Doesn't hit anybody. Goes right for Irma. Direct shot. She's like, she doesn't even react. She's just like kind of like sitting there, like getting hit with this ray gun, and like nobody can like get through this like apparent force field that it's creating.
Yeah.
And Shredder's like, fuck it, I'm out. He just like bounces. And he takes off. The drill goes back down. The enlarging ray goes back down. And the turtle's like, let's get him. And I thought they'd established this like last season, but like they go after him, and then the lava comes up, and they're like, oh, what's that? It's liquid magma. I was like, we've known about this for a while, guys. Like, this is not new. I've never seen a geyser of it, but
Yeah. Something's out of whack.
I will say though, the first time we actually did see it, didn't they also make a big deal out of it then? Like, I think this is the second time they've said, "Oh wow, it's lava."
yeah, no, the first time, yeah, and that made sense. But like to keep going on about it to me is just like, we know this, guys. So the Shredder escapes. They get stopped by lava. Now back at Channel 6, we got Vernon being a dick and needing Irma to find some weather files. So they go into like this like cabinet room, this like file room, storage room. Irma is, I guess she's like a known klutz. I've never really seen that aspect, but
Thank you. Same.
apparently they just decide to make her a klutz this episode. And she like steps on Vernon's foot, which gives him the perfect opportunity. Like, oh, your big feet. And she's like, I'll have you know, my feet are little. And she looks down, and they are getting bigger, i.e., effect of the enlarging ray.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I also didn't remember, anything ever being an established thing about with her being a klutz, but it does make sense for her character because she's just kind of like she's kind of a weird. She's like she's socially clumsy, I guess.
awkward, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, just super awkward. So it kind of just makes sense. I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess she probably would be clumsy. Like, she does seem like she would be clumsy.
Yeah, I mean, but for those of us paying attention, we're like, where did this come from?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then as like, the scene goes on, she further mutates, her arms start getting bigger, and she like knocks over a bunch of stuff, and Vernon's just like, whatever. He's like over it, and he's just like, just find the damn files. And then like things keep happening to her, and she freaks herself out and like runs out. April goes in there because I think she hears something. Irma's gone, and there's like this like like kind of like hole in the wall in the shape of like somebody with like elongated limbs and a giraffe neck.
Yeah, right.
And so April calls the turtles, and by this point Donatello's figured out that whatever kind of gun they had that shot Irma is actually like an enlarging ray. And they have to break it down to April, like, yo, I know you think a monster grabbed her, but I think Irma is the monster. So that's how that's going.
Yeah.
Cut over to Irma in the city, and she's like klutzing around, stepping on cars, knocking into like buildings, like just.
It's like every time something happens, she's like, oh, what's that? Like turns around and, smacks a building, or she just has no sense of
coordination or anything.
Coordination or space or
just can't see.
Yeah, she jacks up. And then so Shredder and his goons, they use this as a distraction to get the other half of the meteor, which is in a vault somewhere. They are not sure, so they use this like little meteor detector thing or element detector thing.
It's a very big tracker. Did it seem huge to you guys?
It looked like a Dreamcast. Like it was as big as shit.
I think I missed that. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember this.
There's a scene where there's a couple scenes. There's a scene where he's like using it to like kind of like move around. I think they're in the studio initially, and he's looking for it with Bebop and Rocksteady, and he can't find. He's like, the signal's getting weaker. What the hell?
Oh right. And
then eventually even calls Krang. He's like, this thing's a piece of shit. Like, it's like I can't find it.
This thing's a piece of shit.
It's so many words. Like,
okay, I got to add this one to our list of trackers.
Oh yeah. Meanwhile, the turtles, they roll up on Irma to help her out, but she like turns her head, and her ponytail knocks over like some sort of like transmitter tower, and disconnects some power cables. And now the cables are like flying around in the middle of the street. And I wouldn't think this is a huge deal, but like for some reason Leonardo can't stop.
Dude.
He's driving the turtle van, And he's like, I can't stop. And then it would cut
He
commercial.
says the brakes went out.
Yeah, he cuts the commercial, and then it comes
Right.
back, and they're like, dude, stop. He's just like, the brakes went out.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Like, what? They just happened to go out right then?
if I was any one of those other turtles, I would be looking at Donatello. I'd be like,
Right.
bro.
You know, we didn't need you to do anything with the brakes. Like, what, were you just fiddling with them or something?
Yeah. It's like, yo, I know you like to invent shit, but can you like just maintain the shit that does work? And then Donatello's like got the balls to be like, I wonder what you guys would do without me. And he like throws a grappling hook and does some bullshit and saves them, you know. And it's just like, bro, if you just like maintain this vehicle, like, well, that's cool. Just almost kill us all.
I feel like he doesn't even get the oil changed and none of that.
Yeah, he just drives the shit into the ground. That's cool.
I just realized real quick, to back up a little bit, there's something that I forgot to mention. When Krang is bitching at Shredder he's blaming him for Irma getting hit by the enlarging ray.
Mm-hmm.
You remember this?
Mm-hmm.
First off, it's like, how is this Shredder's fault? But of course he's
yes,
gaslighting
as
him, I guess,
always.
like he
Yeah,
always
he's not
is.
even, he can't even control the damn thing.
Right. He has
I
no
know.
play in this.
But the way he says it, he goes, Craig goes, as usual, you botched a perfect plan.
Wow. This guy, like you said, gaslighting him.
Tells you it's Crane that hates Shredder.
It is Crane that hates Shredder.
Mhm.
I mean, sure. I think Shredder is like willing to put things aside to get the goals achieved. But
Right. It seems that way.
Yeah.
Crane's gonna sabotage it.
Craig is absolutely not willing to put anything aside.
So Turtle Van stops, comes to a halt. Raphael gets out. He's like, I got this. Uses his size to pin the cables to the ground. Cool move. Leonardo's like, but the real problem's up there. And it's like the transmitter tower is all jacked up, sparking. And Donatello's got this cool thing in the van where he's just like, and he like pops off 3, like, I guess like grappling rockets kind of, and they like creates these cables or like ropes that just go right to the roof of the building.
Yeah, those were cool.
And now the turtles are just like climb right on up. Mike's like, wow, isn't like a cool way to travel or like something like that. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, bro, this is like the most exhausting way to get anywhere.
For real.
So they get to the roof and they see like the junction box or whatever it is, the power switch. And they're all like, how do we stop it? And he's just like, that's our problem. And then Mike's like, I got it. He just throws a pipe at it. I was like, all right, this is going very smoothly for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Knocks out the power. They're cool. And they're trying to console Irma, who's inconsolable. Everything they say is like got some sort of double entendre by accident, or she takes it that way. She's like, oh, big deal, no biggie, blah, 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 big mouth. And she just keeps crying and crying and crying. And giant, massive tears falling, almost hitting Donatello. He's bitching about his turtle wax on his shell. And then Irma.
Like, wait, hold on. Isn't that what the wax specifically keeps water from damaging things? So he shouldn't be concerned about that.
That's actually a good point. Like, isn't the point of the wax to deal with water, to repel it? So it's like, yeah, he's just bitching. I'm not sure he's like that great an inventor at this point.
Oh man. I think maybe the salt in the tears, maybe.
And the tear is nice. Okay. Irma shows up on the rooftop because they're like, man, it couldn't get any worse. And then, of course, we all know what that means.
Yep.
April shows up. She's like, check this out. She like shows them a news report. The military is about to roll in to kill like this 50-foot monster, aka Irma.
Yeah, immediately, let's just send the army. Okay, that's fine. We don't. I mean, they can clearly see that it's a regular woman who has been embiggened. And I mean, she's even apologizing for the things that she breaks. But no, it's a monster. Let's kill it.
Yep. They're like, no, straight to murder. Ask questions later.
Yes.
So they're like, oh yeah, like we know the perfect place to hide her. And I was like, how is this gonna work? And then it just cuts to them like in the outskirts of the city, and she's like sleeping in a barn or hangar or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, we're not really gonna cover that. Okay, that's cool. She's like snoozing. Donatello, meanwhile, is trying to figure out how to reverse the effects, and he comes to the conclusion that they also need now the other half of the meteorite. So Shredder's looking for it, and now the turtles are. Back at the Technodrome, Shredder reports to Krang that his detector is trash, he can't find it. Where Krang informs him, he's just like, look at the news. Or he's like, look at the turtles. And he shows like the turtles are on tracking the actual location.
This was weird to me too, because it was like he was implying, the way I took it, he was implying that, do you know where the turtles are right now? They're at the planetarium. Like you should have known too. Why didn't you go there first? But how could Shredder have possibly known that? He was using the tracker and it took him to the studio. I didn't get that.
He's gaslighting him again. He wants to distract him from the fact that his tracker didn't work right.
It's a piece of shit. Yeah.
That tracks. Yes.
There you go. Yeah. So we're at the planetarium, and the turtles come out with I think these are actually pretty cool costumes, like disguises. And they're pretending to be military operatives.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like intimidate the shit out of this professor. They're like, we need this meteorite, military business. Don't ask questions.
And the professor's like, okay.
Right this way.
Yeah, here you go. And they go ahead and he opens up this vault, and there it is. But just as they're about to get it, Shredder and his boys, they roll up, and we have a throwdown.
Perfect timing.
So we go back and
forth. Is this when they like blow the wall up, or was that earlier?
No, he tries to blow I think Rocksteady tries to blow the wall up with oh, wait a minute. No, I'm getting them mixed up because Shredder kicks the door down later on.
Oh, it was this scene because they're in there and they're about to get the meteorite. I forgot this is actually tight. And Bebop and Rocksteady are hitting the door that's been barricaded with like a steel bar. It's like totally like, all right, that's hardcore. And like bashing it with a lamp post. And Shredder's just like, get out of my way. And he's just like, there's a fucking chest kick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's badass. Like he just opens it up. So I don't know if your dude, the Ninja Turtle gang or whatever, the crooked Ninja Turtle gang. I mean, that's on par with that.
It's on par, yeah.
So yeah, no wonder like what was his name? Smash?
Yeah.
Was intimidated by Shredder. I mean, this man just kicking in doors, literally.
Yeah. I mean, he could have done that in the first place, but
yeah, that's true.
All right,
the part I was thinking of, I think this was actually earlier when they were at the place where it didn't turn out to be. They're trying to break in, and Shredder tells Rocksteady to use a quote blaster grenade.
Oh yeah, that was tight.
Which is just a grenade.
Yeah.
Right.
Wait, what scene was that? In the same scene, or was that?
I think this might have been earlier. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, I remember him saying that too. I'm like, as opposed to what?
Apparently, Donnie fixed the brakes between this scene and the last one.
Oh yeah,
wrenched on it a little bit.
Maybe Leo is just bullshitting. Like he's like, oh, the brakes went out.
Yeah, he actually hit the gas. He's like some geriatric dude going through a farmer's market.
Wow. But also, I think this is a little cool detail. I want to see if you guys caught it. When they rolled up to the planetarium in their costumes, did you notice that they had the word turtles on the little front tire cover on the front of the van covered up?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
They covered it up almost like a big piece of tape or something.
I see. Oh, God, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying now. No, I actually did not notice.
Like, wait a minute.
That's so funny. Just put a piece of tape over the turtles.
Yeah.
Nobody will notice it now. Nobody will
notice that it's shaped like a turtle shell and has guns on it. Nah. Just cover up the word turtles.
So funny.
Good.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
They're really trying.
Mm.
So during the middle of the fight, the professor sees what's going on. He's like, he gets the hell out of there. He's just like, I'm not a fighter. I'm a professor. He's like, just takes off. Shredder actually is able to grab the meteorite, and him and Bebop and Rocksteady are about to get out. But I think it's Michelangelo. He gets like some sort of giant ring. I think probably because it's a planetarium, so he gets like the rings of Saturn and like throws them. and they're like, try this hula hoop on for size, and like they roll out. They drop the meteorite fragment and they take off. And the turtles are about to chase after them, but then they get a call from April about Irma needing food, and she's heading to the city. I was like, this chick is an idiot. Like you are 50 feet tall. Yes, I understand you're hungry, but you're 50 feet tall and you're going to head to the city. Like, stay out in the boonies, eat a cow, like, get some fish or whatever. Like, that's just why I don't like you.
Well, to counter that just slightly, I will give her the benefit of this. She was kind of in a trance because somebody mentions later that she's continuing to grow. So it's like she's requiring and she's almost like, uncontrollably craving, food.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really make sense because it is the exoporon that is causing her to grow. It's not like she's like it itself is causing the growth to happen. It's not like her body needs the energy. The energy for the growth is coming from the exoporon. She doesn't need to provide it herself. So she shouldn't be becoming, although maybe the hunger is a side effect of it rather. Now that she has gotten bigger.
Yeah, I mean, she still has to maintain her body.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And
that
now
makes
she
sense.
has to really maintain a whole
that.
lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't even get to eat her ice cream, so she hasn't eaten this whole time yet.
She has. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe since she's been hungry from the get-go, it just has cascaded now into this enlarged, situation.
Right.
And so, yes, and I did notice she was like in some sort of odd trance thing for some reason. I'm not sure how that tracks, but
oh yeah, that was weird.
The turtles roll up. They find her. They roll up, and she doesn't recognize them. I'm like, wait, what? Like, that's us, the turtles. You know your friends? And she's like, oh yeah. Or she's like, the turtle. Like, oh yeah, April's friends. They're not her friends. They're April's friends. So keep that in mind. So,
she did say that, didn't she?
And they're like, oh, look, we just need you to take this pill. She's like, what's that? She's like, it'll fix you. And she's like, no, I don't take pills. And then she tells a stupid story about her mom used to eat had her take pills with like a bite of ice cream.
Yeah, I love Leonardo. Leonardo actually has the funniest response. He just goes, but Irma, you're a big girl now.
It's like, look, bitch. Like,
it's like trying to reason with her, but you can tell he's frustrated as hell, but he's trying to be nice about it.
Yeah. It's like, look, you're about to get shot by like 87 tanks. Okay, so you need to eat this pill.
Yeah, I was like, at this point, I was like, Irma, just take the damn pill. Like,
yeah, we're not fucking around.
This is not the time to be complaining about you don't have ice cream to take it with.
I can't defend her on this one.
Dude, yeah, that's a rough hill to die on if you do.
Yeah, no. But let me ask y'all a question, though. When she saw the turtles and she didn't recognize them, did either of you think that they were going to do the old, I guess, trope of where the monster doesn't recognize the people that it knew before and it sees them instead as food? Like, in the old cartoons, like people will turn into food and then when they're like really hungry, whoever they see turns into like a drumstick or a lollipop or something like that.
Yeah.
I thought that's where they were going to go with it. I really would have preferred that, to be honest.
I thought maybe they would have gone to like, she thought they were her enemy. Because that's another trope.
It is.
Well, but either way, what they went with was just not even good. It was the worst option, actually.
At the beginning, when she first turned giant, I thought maybe that was going to happen. But then after it was clear, then after she didn't do that, then there was not a point later where I thought she was going to all of a sudden do that.
Yeah. But then, like, why make this weird memory effect thing happen?
That was, yeah, I don't know about that.
So Michelangelo, hearing Irma's childhood ice cream story, goes and gets an ice cream cart, brings it back, and throws it, like, the turtles like throw it into like a cement mixer, like they pour all the ice cream in there and the pill, and they get like making a milkshake basically, and they tell her to drink it down. She's like, if you say so.
Man, that's all kind of nasty stuff in that doggone.
It's like, we told you to eat this pill. Now you're eating a damn concrete mixer. Like,
that concrete mix in there, asbestos.
You don't even know.
All kind of stuff.
That's cool. Yeah, that's what it takes to get you to eat this pill. I guess.
And then does she say like she's always dreamed of doing this.
That was odd
Like
too.
what? You always dreamed of drinking a milkshake out of the back of a cement truck. I didn't understand.
Yeah. I think like
The writing was so
that was
fucking lame on this one.
I thought that was I think that was specifically written for people to be like, what? Like weird old Irma has always had this fantasy of eating ice cream out of a cement truck.
Right. That makes sense.
Mm.
I don't know. This is bad. I'm telling you, man, this episode wasn't it, dog.
No.
And then this whole time, right, Vernon is chasing the story when his coworker for however many years is about to get blown to bits. He don't care nothing about that.
This guy's a piece of shit, yo. Like,
he is.
Hey, he's like trying to get April fired at any chance he can get. And at this point, he's just wanting to like film his coworker get murdered.
Right.
It's like, dude.
Vernon doesn't give a fuck.
And this is Vernon. So, but thankfully, she takes the pill just in time. She's shrinking just to thwart Vernon's bullshit plan to watch her snuff film. He gets there just in time to see her shrink into a normal person. She's like, sorry to disappoint you. And she's like normal. He's just like, ah. And I guess the military gets to go home. I mean, surprised they didn't like ET her ass and like put her in a tent and examine her.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, we're not done with you by a damn sight. You're coming with us. And we're having a pizza party for Irma finally, just as we intended in the beginning. Mikey walks in with a grip of pizzas. He's like, it's 31 pizzas. We got 31 flavors, one pizza for every flavor. And
so
Mike,
I'm going to ask this just for the heck of it. Now, we know Baskin and Robbins. Is it Baskins and Robbins or Baskin and Robbins? Whatever.
I think it's just Baskin Robbins.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know they have their 31 flavors. And if you want to get technical about it, Michelangelo does say that they have all 31 flavors. Does that mean, but he also does specifically say the kinds of 2 specific pizzas, or there's 3 mentioned by, ingredient and name or whatever. But do we want to be technical? Because, I mean, he did say that they have all 31 flavors. And
we don't know what those flavors are.
Well, it's the 31 flavors.
Yeah, with the 31 flavors, the Baskin Robbins do not include this nasty shit that he says.
So
that's why I'm thinking. I'm thinking he just has 31 flavors. He's like kind of just the gimmick of the ice cream shop, but really, it's like they got their own 31 flavors.
Yeah, that was what I thought.
Okay, so I took it too literal.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, got you. Okay, so I'm like,
we're about to have a rough day.
Yeah. Okay, so in that case, that actually makes sense. We have vanilla ice cream with meatballs. We have Michelangelo's personal favorite. Is this the gag pizza? The anchovies and butterscotch ice cream?
Yes. I think that was mine.
That's
right.
That's
nah. After our last experience with the anchovies, I'm over that.
And I don't like butterscotch as a rule, so this would do.
Oh, you don't like butterscotch?
Nah, I can't stand it. So this would do me in.
Interesting. And then Irma, there I go again. I went this whole episode without saying it. Irma, she has a request of chocolate fudge ice cream with extra garlic, which I would not be opposed to trying if we landed on that.
What? I'm not even going to ask why you're not opposed to that.
Because I love garlic, and after having the chocolate fudge on the last one, well, that was caramel fudge, but I think this would be the least offensive.
See, I was going with vanilla meatball.
Yeah, that would, for me, if I had to pick one of these 3, that no question, that would be it.
I like how at least we all agree that butterscotch thing was a bad idea.
No, man. Yeah. You got to pull a mulligan if we get that one.
I don't even think that's a mulligan. I think we're all just like, that don't exist.
I'll forget to add it to the spreadsheet. Don't worry.
There you go. So Mikey brings out, all the pizzas and everybody's happy. And then she's like, oh, yeah, like somebody like, here you go, little lady. One of the turtles calls her little lady. She's like, oh, little lady. And then April being a total bitch. She's like, nah, if you keep eating pizza.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't even want to hear the word diet. Like, I just lost 10,000 pounds. And everybody laughs. Which I'm like, good for you, Irma.
Oof.
I'm going to give it a 1.
Damn.
God,
I don't like this one.
It was that offensively bad.
Yeah. Unless, like, I have reason to revisit later. Maybe give it initially I was thinking 3.
Jeez.
But you know what? Yeah, no, I'm going to stick with my 1. Because there was, like, April being, a total bitch, like, on her ass. Vernon being a scumbag, which is what he is, but he was extra bad. Irma being an idiot and annoying and just whatever. It was just rough. It was like, and the writing and the sense is Splinter on his, like, new bullshit where he's like, let's not go fight. I can't. I mean, the list keeps going. So
no redeeming factors whatsoever. So, like, what does a 1 mean in your eyes?
Jeez.
I don't want to watch this episode again. Like, if I see, I'm gonna change this shit.
There's nothing in it that you liked?
Anything that even I did like was just cringy. Like, the only reason I liked it because it was cringe. It was just like, okay, like that's absurd or obscene, but whatever. Even like, oh, like the blaster grenade, or like, I guess the coolest thing I can recall was Shredder kicking in the door, and I'm like,
that's it.
That's a wrap for me. Otherwise, it was like the writing was weak, the story was weak. I don't know. Everything was just. I mean, the animation was fine, I guess, but even the turtle bus took a shit, so I don't even know.
Wow.
Wow.
A historic day.
First one.
This is the first thing below like a 6.
Yeah, we went hard. We just nosedived. This.
Yeah, I see a couple 6s on the list. But yeah, nothing below that. So, whew.
What do you got, Robert?
I'm gonna go with the 7. I didn't think it was really that bad at all. I mean, yes, it had some little few writing problems and things like that, but overall, I thought it was fairly. It was for Ninja Turtles. I felt like it was average. I really didn't have too many complaints about it. I was also surprised that I was actually surprised it wasn't worse than it was. I thought it was going to be like the whole thing just boring, watching Irma go around destroying the city on accident or something like that. But it really didn't focus too much on that. It used that a few times and not to the point where it got boring, and then it moved on to other stuff. I thought it was fine. It wasn't great, but it was fine.
So a 7 is your average?
What I mean by that is it's average for the Ninja Turtles, which is Ninja Turtles kind of like average baseline is still pretty good.
I see. Gotcha.
It's not great, it's not bad. But it's pretty good still. Like it's not an average of the whole range of how good it could be. It's average for Ninja Turtles.
Gotcha. Well, I am going to give it a 5. That's as high as I can put it. I don't know, man. The only things that I did really like, the fact that Mikey not only knew, but remembered and decided to do something for Irma's birthday. I thought that was kind of cool. But that's like the only big plus that I have. I tried to think of myself as a child and how much I would enjoy it and what about it I would enjoy. And I was having trouble coming up with anything. The sudden character change for our addition to her character of being clumsy and also a food craver. That's all new and was just written for this episode for the plot to advance. And it was that kind of lazy writing set the tone for me throughout. And I know that there has been lazy writing in other episodes that I've rated higher. I get that, but there was just too much this episode. Even her dialogue, even the way she was talking, even the way the voice actor did her lines was like extra annoying.
Wow.
Peeling the ice cream in the cement truck, that's just so random. And again, I thought that I was lazy. Now that I'm talking about it, I could go low more
Wow.
towards Chris.
You're
but
convincing yourself.
Come to the dark side.
yeah, I think this is me testing the waters of how I would rate an episode that I just really don't like. Because there's not been an episode that I just straight up don't like. I straight up don't like this one. I didn't feel good after I watched it. I'm like, I don't feel good, man. I usually come out, coming out of an episode feeling pretty good, better than I went in. That didn't happen this time.
No.
Nah.
There you go.
Well, goes without saying, this is our lowest ranked. Look at this chart. Our lowest ranked episode by
Holy
far.
smokes.
This one gets a average of a 4.3 repeating.
Wow.
Do we want to rank 50-foot Irma, the character?
No.
Man, I lost my enthusiasm after this episode. I don't even care.
We'll think about it. How about that?
I guess there's an argument to be made. Is it a different character? Because she kept her personality. She kept who she was.
True. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, we'll have to give that. I'll go back and look at what we've done, but maybe that's the defining thing.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, damn. Not a favorite.
No,
That was a rough one.
it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't expect it to be this bad at all. See, this is what we need. We need our listeners to write in, talk to us. I mean, how did you feel about this episode? How do you think someone who's never seen an episode of the Turtles before, if this is the first episode that you showed them, do you think that they would return to watch more Ninja Turtles? That's a good question. I don't think so.
Yeah. Write us. Hit us up. turtles@cobaltrude.com. Well, drop us a line and let us know. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe there's some sort of insight that you could shed on this that would, illuminate why this episode is the way it is. Otherwise, oof. Well, we did it. That was the Attack of the 50-Foot Irma. So next time, we're going to be doing episode 4, The Maltese Hamster. See you around.